I want to talk today about a very popular topic that has been happening in my community. And what usually happens is you've taken some steps to heal your trauma, whether you've gone to talk therapy or you've tried some EMDR or a different kind of modality, and you're like starting to feel this release, and it's kind of scary, but it's also feeling like, wow, I'm making really, really great progress. And yet what happens is, even though you're beginning to heal your trauma, you're still sabotaging your relationship, or you might even be pushing your partner more than before you started to heal your trauma. And first, it's important to say that you're not having more problems in your relationship because you decided to heal your trauma. When you heal your trauma for good and have a true full release from your nervous system and your body, your relationship gets massively better. You become more connected. Things feel more alive and natural and amazing than they did before. But when you're only doing a degree of trauma healing, it can definitely make things worse, and it often does. So we're going to talk about some of the physiological shifts that happen when you heal your trauma, and what's going on in your nervous system that can take you this way to make your relationship, better than any relationship you've ever been in, or to take your relationship from, oh my gosh, why am I pushing my partner away, to they're about to leave. All right, so the track that you want to be on is obviously saving your relationship, bringing your partner closer, having a much, much healthier connection than before. And it's important to know some basic neuroscience here, and the hierarchy of which our survival system / nervous system respond. Oh, I just forgot I wanted to share this in my Facebook group, the Lasting Love Movement. So I'm going to just do that really quick. All right, cool. All right, so here's the hierarchy of how our nervous system reacts in a situation. We've got the highest functioning part of our brain, and which, you can refer to, Stephen Porges refers to as the social engagement system. And then we've got more ancient parts of the brain. And when we're safe and calm and connected with our partner, we're really present, we're really can take it all in and enjoy intimacy and be present for great sex and all of these things that we really want in a relationship. When the nervous system starts to react in fear, there's a hierarchy. The first thing the nervous system will do in response is fight or flight, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard about or familiar with. And that is if you imagine being in a room with a bear, your nervous system will react to either fight, right, I'm going to fight this bear, that's how I'm going to save my life, or to run away, flight. You're not consciously making this decision. Your nervous system has this neuroception that is deciding like this. So that's when you have triggers in your relationship, you want to change the way you respond, but your nervous system is reacting before you can even decide how you want to respond differently. So what happens is, if your nervous system doesn't believe that you can outrun or outfight this bear, it will immediately or go straight to the next level of reaction, which is freeze. And this is when your body tenses up a lot. You are basically staring out like a deer in the headlights. And physiologically, primally, this serves to make your muscles really tense and hard to chew. So if you were actually out with, if there was actually a bear in the room with you, that bear would see you maybe as less appetizing as your partner who is maybe chill and their muscles are relaxed and it would be easier to eat them up. I know this is a really gory example, but like this is really how we function. This is really like, it's ancient and it's primal, but that's how we evolve. So we still do this today. Okay, so I'm going to stop there because there's more. More happens in the hierarchy, but the point of this video today is to specifically address what happens when you have a little bit of trauma healing, but not the full release. Because most of you are reacting in a freeze response, or you used to. So I'll give you an example of a former client. We'll call her Jamie, just because she hasn't given us the permission yet to use her name. But Jamie, she used to freeze up all the time in her relationship, not just with her husband now, but like throughout her childhood and all of her relationships. She would never say anything. She would never speak up. Like if there was any kind of conflict, she would be like that deer in the headlights, you know, like even when her husband wanted to talk about it more, wanted to like, you know, have a discussion about what's happening, she could not speak, like frozen, totally frozen. This is how her nervous system was like, you know, this is the only safe way for me to be in this conversation and in this interaction, because she has had so much trauma around people, family members specifically, getting angry with her. So this is how her nervous system knows how to protect her, even though her husband is safe today. He's not abusive at all. He's loving and supportive and healthy. So what happened when Jamie started to, like right before she started to work with us, is she was at this place where she's like, I've recently kind of tapped back into my power. I've been doing trauma healing. Like I used to just push everything down. I wouldn't express when I'm angry, but now I can't stop being frustrated and angry, and like I feel like I've gotten my power back, but I'm yelling more, and I'm more like, I'm telling my husband how it is and how I want him to be. And I'm demanding all this respect and for him to meet my needs. But it's still like, I'm just so like, I'm frustrated, I'm pissed, and I can't relax. And she was in this really, like, she was really struggling with this because she had done so much work to heal her trauma, and like she experienced a shift to speak up more and to like take her power back and be safe expressing anger. And yet she experienced and witnessed herself yelling more, being more aggressive, and pushing her partner away more. So let's talk about why that happens. If that's something that you're experiencing right now, let me know in the comments, because first of all, so normal, so common, and not your fault, because this is how we are hardwired, and this is the process of rewiring. Because the freeze response is a much more ancient, severe response, there's actually improvement if you've gone from never speaking up, holding everything in, being totally frozen, to like speaking up, but more aggressive, angry, like I can't stop yelling, I can't stop losing my shit kind of thing. Like I know it doesn't feel like improvement. It almost probably feels like things feel worse, and like I'm getting worse, I'm regressing, but you're actually not. That is improvement, because that fight response is higher up in the hierarchy. It's a less ancient response. It's a healthier way of responding, even though it's still reacting. So I just want to say first, not your faults and totally normal. The problem is that a lot of women think that, and I'm speaking specifically to women who are in healthy relationships now, who've had trauma in the past, but they can't let in the healthy love from their wonderful partner today. I'm not speaking to you if you're in an abusive relationship. Don't even listen to this video because it's not relevant. So now trying to come back to the point where wherever I cut myself off, I don't really know. But anyway, what happens is that a lot of women, that's where I was, a lot of women, they go through therapy, they go through different fancy modalities of healing trauma, and they do rewire their nervous system a bit to go from this freeze to this fight or flight state in their bodies. And it's like they've had this shift and it feels good, but it's out of control. Because a true release and a true rewiring means that even when there are triggers around, even when your relationship is imperfect, even when you have conflict in your relationship, you can stay regulated. You can stay calm. This doesn't mean that you never get angry or you never show emotion. It just means that even when you have an emotional response, you have full command of how you want to respond and you choose the way you respond. When you're, back in your power, but you're yelling and you're demanding these things that you want in a way that is aggressive, you're not in your power. You're actually still losing your power to your old trauma. And it's misleading, I know, because you've had this amazing shift, but you still haven't done the full release. And so going from freeze to fight, going from not saying anything at all, being totally frozen, to like more speaking up and more more demanding and aggressive is improvement, but it's not the same as being assertive, expressing your frustration in a way that is calm. Your nervous system is still flipping a shit. And when that happens, your relationship won't heal, your relationship won't change, because now you've gone from this person who, one, never spoke up, always froze, to now like a complete opposite, basically. Like, this is how your partner sees it, like, holy crap, like now she's just angry and I don't know what to do, and it's like, this is so different and out of control. And you think you've been healing, and again, you have been sort of healing, but it's creating more problems in your relationship because your partner is now seeing a totally different side of you that they've never seen before. And that's alarming. And that's going to cause them to dysregulate. That's your new fight response. Your fight or flight response is going to cause that in them. That's what happens. That's what co-regulating is. Like, if I'm angry and I'm mad, it will usually make the person that I'm talking to mad or angry, or if I'm just really nervous, right? Another thing that's really common is like when I get angry and I get mad, my partner actually goes into a freeze response, because whatever trauma they're carrying into your relationship, it's getting triggered and it's not safe for them to argue back or to fight back. It's most safe in the perception or the neuroception of their nervous system to freeze and shut down. And that's why it's like, you might be like, I'm finally speaking up. Like, come on, let's talk about this. Let's work this out. And they're like, they're like going into another room and they need space and they need, like, they're just shut down. So it can seem like I'm doing this work, I'm healing my trauma, and my partner is like, not even like, they're not doing what they need to do to get with it. They're not matching up to the level of healing that I'm doing or the effort that I'm putting in. But it's likely that of course they want to, they've been trying to, but you're scaring them away. And just like, okay, so yesterday, Aaron and I were driving home in the snow, and whenever I'm driving and the conditions aren't perfect, he gets nervous. He, like, whether he's saying it or not, like, I can feel that energy and it makes me so nervous. Whereas if he was chill and he just trusted my driving, I wouldn't be freaking out as much as I would, or as I do, when he's like, turn the windshield wipers on. Like, I don't think you can see, like, put the fog on, put the heat on. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to get into an accident? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And that is what happens when we dysregulate with our partners. It's almost kind of simple, but it's like, we think we can try to control it and talk ourselves out of it. But if you're a newly speaking up, like, rawr kind of person right now, because you've done some trauma healing, they're going to be like, oh my God, like, what are we going to do? What's happening? And it can be really frustrating because you're doing, you're taking the steps to let them in, and they're still afraid. They're still afraid to come in. They're still afraid to, they've tried so much in the past to show you that they're healthy and loving and supportive, and they're not going to hurt you like the people who did in the past. But at this point, they've built up a wall because you have pushed it away so much. And you might think, like, I'm doing this work, I'm healing my trauma, like, why won't you see that I'm changing? Well, you are changing, but you're still reacting. That's what's happening. And you need to do a full trauma release. You need to fully rewire your nervous system. A release isn't, I go for a run and I feel like, I've let go of some angry energy, or I've like come alive because this run is so good. That's not a release. That is basically training your nervous system that you need a 5-mile run, or you need to scream into a pillow just to feel calm again. And that's the same exact thing that you do in your relationship when you yell, and you like run away and slam a door. Like, you need that release. Sorry, I know that was aggressive. You need that release, that like exertion of energy just to come to a place of calm. But that's not good. That is not helpful, because a true full rewiring needs to be gentle and gradual. And like fluid. It's almost hard. It's hard to describe that, but it's like, we need to flow between these physiological states in order to truly be healed and in command of our responses. Not, I'm calm now. That's not going to work. That could be a temporary Band-Aid, a temporary coping mechanism. But if you truly want to step into the best version of yourself, who gets frustrated or annoyed with your partner, but can hold that and flow through it and gracefully respond even through that, to bring you and your partner closer together without sabotaging it, you need a full release, a full rewiring. And that's what my team and I help you do in my Let Love In program. We help you heal the trauma that is making you push away your partner, even if you've already had a degree of healing, which I would argue, again, is not really healing if you're not fully shifted into that, the kind of person who can really stop reacting from past trauma, who can really stop being triggered by past trauma all the time. Even if you've had a degree of healing, you need to do the full journey to create the best relationship you have ever had with your partner today. If you're interested in checking out all the details for Let Love In, how it works, what's included, the price, send me a private message, or you can comment below if you'd like, that's fine too. But we can chat a little bit. I can send you the application. And if you end up being a good fit, you can do this program and it will change your life and your relationship forever. There's just no words. I was just doing a video interview with one of our former clients, and it's like half the time she's like, I'm going to try my best to describe what happened. Like, what the hell just happened, in the most amazing way. But it's hard to describe because it's such a deep body felt shift. So let me know if you're interested. Send me a private message and let me know if this was helpful for you. Thanks so much for listening, for joining. And until next time, I hope you know that you deserve to be able to let healthy, lasting love in.